Hello, welcome back again to my experimental Let's Play series where I am Let's Playing making a game instead of playing a game. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a video for various reasons that I'm not going to get into because you don't care. But the last episode where we were working on Ninja Gym, I was making a lot of these side rooms, which you can now see are in here and decorated. I have, I think about a dozen in here right now. Let me jump down real quick. That hurt? That's okay. No one cares. So, there's a lock over the door. That means I haven't put a room there yet. But most of these, for this area, all have areas that you can explore. I'm probably going to end up putting secrets in these at some point. I'm definitely going to put NPCs in them at some point. I might interconnect a bunch of the rooms, like this one here, which was our experimental one we played around with a few weeks ago. And I'm happy. I'm happy with how this all looks. Of course, the doors are working. You may recall that was an issue. Doors are working, locks are working. It's great. It's all great. Fantastic. But that's not the most interesting thing I worked on the last couple weeks. The most interesting thing I worked on is this over here. So we have some NPCs that I've done art for. Done some animating. I'm not the best animator in the world. Originally, my plan for this game was to do rotoscoping, which didn't end up working out. I actually have a whole scrapped episode on that because it didn't work. But that's fine. These animations work good enough. My background is really more an 8-bit style stuff. Like, you saw my last episode where I was going over 8-bit art. I'm better at those simple 4-frame animations. These are 8 frames. The 8 frames maybe aren't as much as what would be ideal, but I don't have a team or budget, so 8 frames will be fine. So, NPCs walk around. It's just the 2 of them right now. I'll probably make up to 6 background NPCs, and there'll be different ones in different areas. They see, walking around. Walk across the street. More of them down here. There's a lot of them. Because this is a nightlife district, so there's going to be a lot of NPCs around. So working on this, I actually began to understand why Minecraft does its mob spawning the way it does. Because, none of these are set spawns or anything. I have the game generate random XY coordinates, see if there's a floor below it, put the NPC on the floor. You can't see it, but if the NPCs are off screen, their AI turns off. If they're far enough away, they might get deleted. So basically the way Minecraft handles all this. But what I think is especially cool, and we'll sleep for a couple hours, you suddenly see there's a lot fewer of them around. The amount of NPCs actually varies a lot depending on the time of day, which you would expect. Right now, it's early morning. It's almost 5 in the morning, so there's only a couple of people walking around. And when we were going viewing a few hours before, there was about 200 NPCs walking around. This is a system I'm very happy with how it looks. Let's jump a few more hours in the future when we see more NPCs. So we see a few more now. This is all dynamically happening while you're in the level. So, my spawn NPC code. What's going on here? So, I have an NPC count. That's the amount of NPCs I want the level at a certain time. And every 2 in-game hours, I have a different variable for what that's going to look like for our test level. That's this. So you can see it's 200 at the peak, down to 5 in the middle of the morning, and it rises and grows throughout the day. This is when the levels first spawn. when the level first loads, picks the random variables, checks to find there's a valid place to spawn it, make sure it's not colliding with something it's not supposed to collide on, creates the NPC. And it's also doing this, like, while the level is loaded, it's adding NPCs to bring us up to the point it's supposed to be at. See the NPC AI, it'll delete the NPCs if they're past the cap. It also randomly deletes them just to, so you don't have too many NPCs bunched up in one area. It'll slowly delete them so it can spread them out a bit more. It also, as you see here, turns them off if they're outside of range. So I can have a lot of NPCs in the level at any given point in time. So we can have like super busy times of the day. I might work on optimizing this a bit more because this is about how many NPCs I can have without any slowdown, which is, see, a lot. But, and of course I'm going to have like 3 more towers. I'll have about the same concentration of NPCs. This is actually a third the amount of NPCs I'll be in the final level. But when I get to like busy market streets, I'd actually like the population of NPCs to be much higher than this. I'm not sure if that's practical. And I mean, it certainly doesn't matter. Like, this is in essence just a glorified particle system to make the city seem busier or more lively than just, your typical 2D video game city does. This system is actually a much simpler and more lag-friendly than my original plan, because my original plan would be NPCs would spawn at doors and disappear at doors. But, or they could just spawn and despawn off screen. It does not matter. And, B, collision detection with doors causes lag, and it doesn't need to have that. That's more complicated than it needs to be. Just spawn and despawn off screen. Doesn't matter. It's cool. It's good enough. So my plan going forward for at least the next few weeks or so, and I've said this multiple times, is doing character art. This is a samurai I'd worked on maybe a year or so ago at this point, before I decided I was going to do rotoscoping. And obviously, I'm not doing rotoscoping, so I might go back to this. This is a perfectly fine design. I actually did a redesign down here, which I think will be simpler to animate, but I already have a working animation. So I'll play around with it, work on this guy, work on maybe some more NPCs. I mean, the idea is I want to get more practice in this style of art before I do the art for the ninja themselves. Because the ninja's got to have the highest quality art, so the more practice I have before I try and tackle the ninja, the better the ninja will work. I think that's my goal going forward for a bit. Maybe I'll time-lapse some of that art. I didn't time-lapse the NPCs because it was kind of a mess of doing it. I didn't really know what I was doing, but if you guys like see some art time-lapses, I can try to do that. But I'm more likely just to show the stuff after I've done it. But yeah, that's the plan going forward. So if you like this video, tell me in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. That's fine too. I like I say every video, I'm more interested in comments. I'm more interested in feedback because I want to make better videos. This is a prototype. I am prototyping and I need viewer feedback, player feedback. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.